My name is Tommy Shi. I am 3/4 Chinese and 1/4 Laotian. Why did I create this project? I created this project because I wanted to discover myself, and I wanted to allow members of two Lao communities in Illinois to tell their story. Could you all introduce yourselves?
Sure. My name is Atlantis.
My name is Lori Chantavong.
My name is Buntiam Petjaron.
My name is Bunsuan Rajput. My name is Bunlap Bang Seng Thong.
Can you start off by telling me about yourself and introducing yourself to me?
My name is Eric Champui, 21 years old. My parents were both from Laos.
Could you tell me a little bit about what life was like back in Laos?
Before 1975, I was in military, so the life is pretty good. But after 75, the communists took over, everything changed. They sent us to concentration camp.
Actually, I was a medical student. Communist took over. Everything's going down the drain. No hope. So we escaped to Thailand. Lived there for 3 years until 79, and we come to the United States since then. And never been back since for almost 40 years. I think it's 41 years.
How do your parents describe life in Laos?
Life in Laos was really different depending on the time period because my parents were primarily in the royal era and their life started to shift as the Vietnam War raged. In general, it was better when there was a king and worse when there were the Communist Party.
Why did your families choose the United States, or to come to the United States and not to some other country? Because
Not too many people, they heard about the United States, but we don't know where we're going to go. Actually, we don't. All we do, we just want to get out from refugee camp, then go somewhere. And back then, they say, well, the United States is great. So that's what we know about it. Personally, myself, I don't want to come in here. I want to go to France. The reason I don't want to be here is because I don't know how to speak English.
The reason why we picked the USA is my father heard really good things about the US, and so it was a land of opportunity, and he had sponsorship that they were going to sponsor our family to come over, so that's how we came to the US.
So whoever to accept our application, do we choose come to United States? Some don't, some do.
Ended to in Illinois. I never lived somewhere else in Illinois.
Never left.
40s, almost 40 years ago.
My dad did the choosing and things like that. So I believe America, the United States, just more well-known, overpowering, and we hear a lot more about the United States having the land of opportunity than we do in other countries.
why did your family choose the United States and not some other country?
Interestingly enough, my parents, both of them, were very fluent in French. America was offering refugees, so he took the first ticket out and he went to America. Now, my mom immigrated to America because she married my dad.
Can you tell me just the first experiences your families had in the U.S. and any problems or anything along the way?
My first experience would be I felt welcome with the family that sponsor us. They welcome us with open arms and things like that. I didn't experience anything negative until later in life.
For me, I didn't know English at all, so trying to have to learn a new language, and then in the process of kind of losing my Laos language as well.
Our life is pretty rough, so we came here, got nothing, bare hair, no money, no nothing.
For myself and my wife, we did speak a little bit English. That's enough for survive. I don't know anything about Western country until my sponsor and I were just like we training little kid. I look it back, my first day came to the United States, my tears came down. Recently, I feel so sad about that time. No English. What am I gonna do? How am I gonna find a job? Where am I gonna go there? You know, it's totally opposite between here and the back and refugee camp. First 6 months, it's our life. We don't know what we're gonna do. Even though I want to go back home, we don't know what we're gonna do. We don't know how we're gonna find a job because no English.
Were there any problems that your family experienced when they first came here?
Yeah, all the time. It was rougher when my dad started. There were a lot of discrimination and racism at the time. My mom, though, her struggles were more a different struggle. She came into America without knowing any English, so she just started rock bottom. Learning the language, she had to relearn and get a new diploma. So she chose nursing because she knew the basics of medicine, but she did not have the time or the energy anymore, the language barrier to go through and do a full doctorate again.
When did you realize what was going on?
Knowing that it was in the middle of the night and that my dad was going to be on the other side was scary enough to know that anything could happen. And I was only 7. I know right then and there when he put us in the boat that we were trying to escape.
We escaped at about midnight. A lot of my friends got killed. So they get the money and they kill them.
For me, it's a little bit easy because my wife's village is right on the border. So I can go like a fisherman every day.
My dad came and got us in the middle of the night, and he told us just to be quiet, don't breathe a word, don't say anything, so we're going to go try to sneak out in the middle of the night. So he put us on the boat with my mom, and he went in the water, and then he just pulled the boat, and he just followed along. So that's when I realized what was going on.
When did you realize what was going on?
I grew up and I could see that everyone was like kind of different.
Do any of you still have family over there? And if so, how do you still keep in contact?
So first 4 or 5 years when we get here, it's not so easy to contact them because the government is kind of tricky. It's not like now. Now it's a whole lot easier. I don't got trouble. They're the one gonna have trouble. So we kind of protect them.
It is a lot easier now. You have Facebook, you have wire transfer, you got a phone now.
Yeah.
There's a language barrier though between me and my cousins and stuff.
Did all your family come over from Laos, or did some of them stay behind, or how did that work out?
I think it was my dad offered them the chance to immigrate. Some chose to stay. Some had already built like a family and they're comfortable with the life they had. They didn't want to uproot. And there are others that had already fled, but they had no knowledge of my dad, or they just didn't want to come to America, and then they went to other countries.
Since that happened, how does your family keep in contact with those that are scattered around?
It was hard. In the earlier years, it definitely was no communication. And so that's why people were scattering, because it was almost fend for themselves. Once everyone is scattered, then they were started to like send letters to each other, and then that's how they started to relay that information. You know, once you know of one person's whereabouts, if you don't know another person, you can ask the second person, and your network starts to grow. One person doesn't know, someone else will, and that's how that network finally grew. And eventually, to this present day, we kind of know where everyone is, but at the same time, we are not sure. 40 years have passed. People have passed away. By the time you get a hold of them, you realize that they're gone, and you realize where they ended up, but you can't talk to them anymore, and they're in a state where they're in the hospital.
How did you deal with your Lao identity?
My parents had always taught us the value of Laos.
My parents always remind us, you're Lao, you're never going to lose your culture, you're never going to lose your heritage. You have to embrace it, but also it's okay for you to embrace the Western cultures as well, but don't forget where you come from.
Who we are, where we from, we never forget. We still remind him, even like have a son who born here. He don't think, well, he's American, but we tell him, yeah, you also Lao, not just American.
How do you deal with your Lao identity and being Lao?
Well, I'm proud of being Lao in general because I think I have a big understanding of what it means to be Lao or who the Lao people are. I think many people know our country. Laos is a country, it's like this big black block of the world that gets no one really knows, and it's right in the middle of like very common countries. Royal Lao people, I think I would call it. Those people are getting lost to time. And sometimes I just feel like I came from Atlantis. It's kind of that weird, like it's gone. It's gonna be gone. It's the Laos that's there now, the Communist Party ruled one. The land is similar, but so much has changed.
How does the Lao community here deal with the past, and how do you move forward?
As a community, we all, I mean, the elders teach the younger generation a lot of different things that we, and it's up to a younger generation to ask questions, to be interested.
I think we got our hands full, right?
Moving forward,
To
it's
move
gonna be-
forward, it's gonna be much harder. Maybe that'll change. I hope I'm wrong.
How does your community deal with the past, and how does it move forward to the future?
To the future, my community, in my opinion, does not. My community deals with the past by forgetting about the past, and my community deals with the future by just trying to find happiness in the small things. I think they've stopped trying to rebuild a royal Lao. Teach them your heritage, teach them your language, but so many old Lao just wants to forget. They just want to just drop it and just let their kids be American. It's kind of upsetting. We're just gonna lose a lot of culture.
I know you have children, and some of you have grandchildren. How do you tell them about this history? When is the appropriate time or the situation to tell them?
My children was young in school. They keep asking, like you ask us. Grandchildren, they will come later. I don't want anything that they learn now and the thing I know interfere with their education. It makes harder for them to understand.
I think my son think he's Caucasian. It's strange. We make jokes about that, but we have to explain to him. I said we're trying to educate ourselves too. Where do we go from here?
How do your parents tell you about being Laos?
I think it wasn't more them telling me, but it's more of I would ask my dad of how was life in high school? How was life when you were 5? What do you remember? What was it all like? And every time I asked a question, I got an answer and a story.
When did you realize what was going on?
I can see that the Lao people are different. Now, why are we different? And I started asking questions early on, and I started to realize, I started wanting to know where we came from, because it didn't seem like we belonged here. Yeah, I didn't have a sense of belonging with the United States for a while. I refused to put my hand over my heart for the pledge or for, a song or something, because I didn't recognize myself straight as an American until I was older, and now I really believe I'm the best. I belong to both countries. I still kind of don't support the fact that America pulled out.
How do you feel about Laos now compared to back when you first came over here?
I come here at such a young age. I do not want. I only try to remember the good things.
Right, yeah.
Everything is a blur because I try to forget.
Now everything money talk.
Everything, money
Talk. That's it.
It
Before 75, if you want to bribe them, you put under the table.
Basically, it comes
No.
down to is
They ask you, they
corrupted.
pay right there.
How do the people in Laos view you?
There's 50% that they're gonna call you traitor.
Yeah.
It's same as here.
When you and your family go to Laos now, how do the people in and Laos than the country government. How do they view you?
At this point, it's sort of a you don't mess with our current way of like living, and we won't mess with you is how the Communist Party started to treat it. For me, I've never personally gone back to Laos. It's not my Laos either. It's not the Laos that my parents grew up in. It's like a shell.
What do you guys know about the Syrian refugee crisis?
I mean, I think it's almost the same situation as we were during the Vietnam War. With the issue with them is they're coming from a country where they want to do war against the United States. Not too many Americans want them in here because of that. With us, we weren't a violent group, so they were more accepting of us.
What do you know about the Syrian refugee crisis?
Not enough to talk for a full discussion about it. What I would say is that if they can get a neighboring country to be like a Thailand to them, then peace talks can concur to try to like get refugees over to the countries. I think the circumstances were different. I don't know if America didn't participate and help out so much in that war to begin with, I don't know if they would have really accepted us, so many refugees.
Even if you don't know much about the situation, like, what words or advice would you say to those who just got here or who are still trying to get out of Syria?
I would say hang in there. There's help out there. There's people out there who is out there to help them. Be patient. The help is coming.
The same way we get through it. We hang in there.
Do you have any other advice for Syrian refugees?
Being a refugee in general is so hard. You're lost, you don't know where to go, sometimes it's hard. People aren't going to accept you as a refugee. I think it's more or less don't give up. If you keep trying, you keep talking to people, eventually if you keep struggling, someone will see and you'll find that right person that'll get you safe to safety. That's the story. It's just keep trying and just keep working hard at it. It just sucks. Being a refugee sucks. There's no way to just say, hey, this is what you should do.
I want to ask you, what are your opinions and thoughts about the stereotypes of Asian Americans? So, for one example, the model minority myth.
The model minority myth, I think, as it pertains to Southeast Asians and specifically Lao, I saw it in this way. And it actually just ended up being what your situation was, who your parents were. The Lao community struggles, one, because of the class system, and two, because of the scatteredness of all of us. Thank you for the interview.
Thank you for your time, Eric.
Yeah. Thanks, Tommy.
I thank you guys for your time. I know it was a long
problem.
interview.
Okay.
Thank you.
We can help you out.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. You need help, more help, just let us know.